Alright, so I had to get this on camera. This is so embarrassing. Okay, I'm like 40 years old now. When I was 20, now just listen up, especially if you're one of my children. When I was like 20 years old, I thought that it was crazy when people like cried because their pet died. I'm just like, how do you get that close to a pet? Now, like, a pet doesn't even have to die, it just has to like go away, and I'm like crying, and it doesn't even have to like go away, it could still be here, and I'm thinking about like when my cat dies, how I'm gonna cry, and with every cat I've had now. And then, like when artists, like when Kurt Cobain died, or when Tupac died, and everybody was like, like on MTV, they showed the people crying and all that stuff. I was like, how are you crying over an artist? You don't even know them. Well, I was just, okay, and this probably has a lot to do with like my schizophrenia. So, like, because I can really meld into a world that doesn't exist, but I can feel everything. So, like, whatever's in my imagination it's like going into another world. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it's kind of like being on mushrooms, or being on acid, or being on a psychedelic, on ayahuasca or something. It feels like, I don't know, it's just weird. Like you could just feel everything, and it's sometimes uncomfortable, but sometimes it's really like cool. Other times you feel stupid. Like you can feel like so stupid. Like you just has all the feelings, and you just never know what you're gonna get. It's like a box of chocolates with the schizophrenia that I have. So, anyways, I wanted to explain that, but it's hard to explain. I don't know the words for it yet, but I'm still exploring the sickness or the disease of schizophrenia, so that way I can try to better explain it to like how it feels, because I think it's normal, and I think what it comes from is coming from something unstable. You see how my face is lopsided? So, anyways, what I was saying was about the artist thing, like crying about them. So, anyways, I was watching Lose Yourself, and in the end of the video, Eminem walks away. Well, I'm a big fan of Eminem, and I have been, well, really, actually, it was my daughter's dad who got me to actually really listen to him, because I didn't even like him at first. I just thought he was like some poppy, like, I don't know, like, what was that? Al Yankovic or whatever. Not that he's not cool, it's just not my style of, something, I mean, I used to like that stuff when I was a kid, but so, anyways, and then Josh actually got me to listen to like the words, and hear the story or the words that were in the music and the rap music and in Eminem specifically. And I just fell in love, like, right, just like I fell in love with marijuana the first time I smoked it when I was 12. That feeling, it was just like, oh my god, this is a feeling that you can get. I'm gonna get that feeling. It's like that. It's just like men. You could probably compare it to an orgasm, because I know how you guys are about orgasms. You guys are freaks. I swear to God. It's like, do you ever grow up out of that? Are you always a horny 13-year-old? But I don't know. Even when they don't even have the ability to be horny, they still act like they do, like can be horny. It's like, dude, you can't even. What are you talking about? You see the comments that like some old men have made to me that are like decrepit and act like driving for an hour hurts their legs. I'm like, and you're gonna try to tell me a comment, like a disgusting comment, an inappropriate comment, a comment that if you're a gentleman, you do not say to any woman, girl, lady, whether she's a bitch or a cunt or a lady, whatever you want to call her, hopefully a lady, if you're a gentleman. But this guy clearly was not, and he was just an old dirty man, and he said something dirty. I'm just like, you couldn't even. What are you talking about? Like, oh no, it was Mick. He used to say, "Suck my dick." He always goes, "Suck my dick." I'm like, just suck my dick, Mick. Suck my dick. And because they don't like my response back, because I don't take that shit. I don't take it. Like, I don't take it. Ever since this guy broke up with me because some other guy at the bar called me Blondie that I worked with, I don't take that shit. I don't take it lightly, and I don't, because it affected my life, and somebody that I fell like so deeply in love with just broke up with me over somebody calling me Blondie, because he's like, that's disrespectful. I don't want to be with somebody who calls somebody Blondie. I don't want to be with somebody who lets people call him that. And that was it. It was over. Like, that's how strict he was. But he was a Republican, conservative, you know. He liked Bill Gates. He was a big fan of Bill Gates. Big fan of U2. He went to a U2 concert. Big Star Wars fan, you know. But he was great. Wonderful guy. I mean, really wonderful. And you couldn't, I mean, the only way you could ask for a better guy was just kind of maybe if he could be more, a little bit more liberal, you know. Just, but he wasn't. He was very strict in what he thought. And that was, so anyways, just like when Mick says that, I'm like, Mick, you can't even drive for an hour without you saying your leg hurts. What the fuck do you think you're gonna do with that? Like, shut up, get away from me. Anyways, I ended up yelling at him one day because he came out and he tried putting his finger in my face, and I don't even know the guy like that well. I'm like, you better not. And I start, you know how I freak out. You see me in my videos, you see how I freak out. And he was like, damn, you are psycho. And I'm like, yeah, I am. You know, because I'm not little anymore, but I used to be little. And when, you know, you're in abusive relationships and you have, like, all you have is your voice to protect you from, you know, harm. It's just like a snake. It's like the Ashleisha. It's like the Nikshatra Ashleisha, which is in Vedic astrology, which is a snake, which is interesting because my great grandmother, and I actually have a picture I could show you of a living relative. Her name is Bessie, which rhymes with Jesse, which is the name that my dad calls me. My dad calls me Jesse. But Ella Snake, that was her last name, Snake. So anyway, Ashleisha is like a snake. And a snake has no way of protecting itself because it crawls on its belly. It has no arms. So a snake has to use its tongue and use venom. And so you could translate that into Jessica being a psycho. When you threaten me with harm, or if I feel threatened with harm, I use my voice to protect myself, because just like a snake, just like Ashleisha. So that's in Cancer, Ashleisha is. And my North Node is actually in Cancer. The Nikshatra, Ashleisha, which you can go look for. I could try to spell it for you. Let me see here. Let me put it on a post-it, actually. So you guys can go learn some Vedic astrology, because when the moon or the sun or a planet is going through Ashleisha, you can recognize this and you can notice that protection. Because like Ashleisha, you can also think of a crab, you know, because a crab like shelters itself with its hard shell, you know. And then Ashleisha has a lot to do with like the venom and the tongue that the goddess, is it a goddess? I don't know, but anyways, I'm gonna spell it for you. I'm really good. I've always been really good at spelling India things, but I don't know why, but you can't see it there. Maybe you can. Can you see it there? Can you see it? No, you can't see it. Anyways, I'll spell it out. Ashleisha. And there's a really good, I can't remember her name. But she's with Raj. She's with the Pi team. You know, she's like one of the major players in the Pi team with, you know, KRS Astrology. I mean, these are like big hitters in the astrology world and the Vedic astrology world. Like Joni Patri's up there with them. But you get this girl. She has long red hair. She's so nice. Her voice is so sweet. I mean, you could just listen to her tell you stories and talk about the nakshatras and the goddesses, or the, I don't know, just the nakshatras and the stories with them and stuff. And it's just the way she explains it. And Pi too, he tells a really good story, like with a elephant and a woman in the middle, and it helps you understand like the times and how the times they are changing. It's so Bob Dylan. No, it's so astrology. It's Vedic astrology. It's my favorite astrology. It's why my charts look like this, because I believe the earth is more flat. I believe when it comes to charts, the world is more flat. Because look, this is Capricorn over here, and this is Cancer over here. But look, the United States is over here, and it's a Cancer, like it's a Cancer, it's Cancer sign. And then you have Leo over here, which would be like where Hawaii is, which is like presidents, or a lot of presidents are born under the sign of Leo. You'll notice that. A lot of presidents born under the sign of Leo. And then somebody's trying to call, so decline. So anyways, and then, but you'll see over here Capricorn, where all the workers are, over here in Asia and stuff, and India and stuff, all over here. and Saudi Arabia and Jordan, all those places. Or Jordan, I didn't name my daughter after Jordan. I named my daughter after a girl named Jordan, and then kind of Michael Jordan. Not really, not really, but because they're like, the way I spelled it, they're like, so you want to spell it like Jordan? Like, I was like, no, I want to spell the way it's spelled. So Jordan, here's a little story about when you were born. So I love to do this because I always wanted stories about when I was born or when I was a baby. When you were a baby, your grandma from your dad's side, Nell, Grandma Nell, she said, not her, I'll just always remember, the doctor came in and asked me, hold on, let me start. So the doctor came in and asked me right after you were born, how are we going to spell your name? And he asked me, he's like, are you sure you don't want to do it with like a Y? You know, like Jordyn. And I said, no, I want it spelled exactly like Michael Jordan, like a boy's name, because I didn't want anything fancy. And I did that because it's just easier, I think. And I don't know, there's something about like sticking with the original. But anyways, your grandma was like, oh, so like Michael Jordan. And I was like, yeah, like Michael Jordan. And I'll always remember that. She was like, so like Michael Jordan. And I was like, yeah, like Michael Jordan. And, you know, that's my side of the family, my mother's side of the family's maiden name. My mother's maiden name is Michael's. I shouldn't tell you that, but I just did. So anyways, yeah, just robbed my identity. My credit sucks, and I hope you don't. So, anyways, I made this chart. But anyways, this is why the Earth is flat to me, because it's like, oh yeah, and then you have Pisces up here, which would be like where Germany and stuff is. And they said that Germany was like a Pisces what our sun sign was Pisces. And anyway, so that's why you see this is a Vedic chart. This is a North Indian Vedic chart, and these are my favorite. And anyways, I just put like Aries, Taurus. Aries. Oh wait, it's upside down. I had it upside down. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and then I put all the degrees. So then you know like what degrees are where. You see. So like Capricorn is 271 degrees to 300 degrees. So then like, you know, it's probably over here on the map. You know, I got this map right here. I can show you. Look. I don't know if you can see it, but if I turn around, if I put the light on it, you probably see up there, but how do I get it? I could get it up there. Well, you can't really see it, but anyways, that's a world map. I got that the other day. So I can see wherever. I just want to keep an eye on everything, you know. And I feel like if I can, like, you know, that's part of my schizophrenia. I feel like I could just keep an eye on everything. You know, the news, like when I have the TV on, if it's just me here, like my choice and how I was like growing up, I just would the news, just have the news constantly revolved around the news. So that way I know what's going on. When I had my desktop, the homepage was CNN, and then now I changed from liking CNN. I like Fox News now because I feel like they're gonna, like, I don't know if they're more fair and balanced, but I do think they are more fair and balanced. Yeah, I do. I think they are, and I think that everything that they say about the Democrats, you know, and this is just my opinion. I'm not really like going to get into it or anything. I'm not trying to take sides with anybody or join your hoorah team, you know, like for whatever side you're on, because I'm not doing that. I already fell into that trap on my own and went down all the rabbit holes, and I just really don't. I'd rather be an anarchist like Michael Malice. He probably trolls me, which is great, which I think is fantastic. If Michael Malice trolls you, that's a compliment. So if he doesn't, sorry to mistake that. If he does, hi, and thank you for trolling me, because I like the attention. It really, you know, just to know that somebody's paying attention to me honestly makes me feel good, and I don't even say that being sarcastic dick. You know, I'll let you know if I'm being a sarcastic dick, and I'm not. So, anyways, I really like it when people troll me, because I feel like I'm being paid attention to, you know, and I don't get a lot of attention. And if you read Jessica Bailey Data Live Wiki, that's obviously one of my problems, is that I don't know who Westcott is, but I'm obviously not getting enough attention from Westcott. So much so that some character named Mana, which is also another word for breath, you know, like air, breathing. You know, this is already 14-15 minutes. Look at how much content I have. I'm telling you, advertisers, you better get in on this show, because I have so much to talk about. I have an Oprah Winfrey complex. I have my Mercury and Venus in both very strong degrees. Venus at 6 degrees Aquarius. Mercury at 27 degrees Aquarius. So very Piscean in my Mercury, and very Capricornian in my Venus. You can see how these things are like in my chart, but very strong also in my Aquarius. All those things are like water barriers, you know, the age of Aquarius. Like, that is what Oprah Winfrey had in her chart. Venus and Mercury in Aquarius. I don't know at what degrees, but maybe not both of them. But at least the Mercury. At least the Mercury in Aquarius. That's important. And actually, I had a question if the government was watching over Mercury and Aquarius babies. Well, if you watch over Mercury and Aquarius babies or Mercury and Aquarius people, you're going to be able to get new words. You're going to be able to get new ways to explain things, give people expression. And expression is the most important thing because, I mean, just look at a flower. It's a living thing, right? And look at its expression is the most important thing. And it's like amazing how it's always so perfect, you know? And that flower has no thought. It has no thought process. So imagine if we had no thought process, would we just, if we didn't think so much, if we just went with our intuition, with our gut, we would be like, grow as beautiful as a flower, you know? And maybe that has something to do with the symmetrics of your face, you know? Or some people have a hunchback, some people have a body like a really big torso and like small tiny little legs, you know. Some people are out of proportion. I'm not trying to talk bad about it. I'm just saying it's just the way it is. And some people are more better in proportion. I'm just wondering if it's because they go with their intuition. But anyways, the water barrier, I was talking about Aquarius, but anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just excited to get this video up now because I just had all this information that I just put on you. But anyways, you should really, if you want to get your advertisements in here, but you're gonna have to, I need some money, you know, at least let me go shopping, give me credit. If it's insurance, like Michael Malice has, you know, Progressive insurance commercials, give Danny free insurance. That'd be cool. You know, like, take free things are cool, but we work together, you know. I give you something, you give me something. I know I'm going to get viewers because I have a Mercury and Venus in strong degrees of Aquarius, and I explained this so many times. One day I'll do a video about Mercury, and I'll do it like through the signs, and I'll do a thing about Venus, and I'll do it through the signs. But in my mind, Mars right now is most important. Mars and the moon. Moon and Mars is the most important, along with the sun. But moon and Mars, because Mars is your energy, is where your focus, where your drive is. And then, well, that might also be Venus too, because, you know, it depends on whether you're more Capricornian or Piscean, you know. And like me, I've got I got Capricornian Venus, so I'm a worker, you know, and I have ideas, and I want to work, and I want to make money, but I have schizophrenia, and I have mental disease, and I was sheltered, and I have a lot of fucked up shit. I grew up fucked up, and I cuss, and I smoke, and I used, and maybe sometimes will if it's offered to me, you know, drugs. Why? Because I like drugs. Sorry, I must admit it. I have to say it. I like drugs. You should not like drugs. I'll probably have to edit this out, but I think it's bullshit that I have to edit anything out, because freedom of expression, that is why flowers grow the way they grow, so beautiful, so like just in order, the way that, I mean, it's just like everything is the way it should be. When you look at a flower, humans can be the same way. It's beautiful. You should think about it. You should think about it. You should think about, you know, your organisms. Follow science. Science is always accurate, but you got to think with an open mind. You got to think with an open mind. And you got to think also, you got to be accepting. You got to be so accepting. You do. Because I remember when I used to talk shit about biologists. Remember that? Well, I did for like a couple minutes in a YouTube video comment. You know, I can find the video. Maybe I can find the comment. I don't know. I don't really care anymore. I don't care, because freedom of expression is the most beautiful thing, and is the most necessary thing for us to be beautiful. And isn't that what we want? To be everybody collectively to look like as beautiful as like a rose or a lily or a sunflower or something like that. Like, I don't know how to explain it in my mind, but my mind just like has like a overview of like how the world like looks as a mosaic. Mosaic, that's how you could think of it. Exactly. People are like a mosaic. And if everybody is given the freedom of expression, and that's why Mercury and Aquarius people are so important because they give us a way of expressing ourselves. Like Eminem gives us a way of expressing ourselves. I love you, Eminem. And here's the video also saying, I love you, Eminem, here. I love you, Eminem, here. I love you, Eminem, here. I love you. Because I do. And I love him not like as a boyfriend or as a lover or anything like that. I love him as he's a music artist, and he brought a lot of expression to my life that I was able to express myself. Like, oh, I feel that way. Relatedness, you know? So, like, it was like, you know how the flower is cohesive, how it can go from, like, brown to beautiful, I mean, to, like, a beautiful blue. You know, just think of the color brown and then going to the color blue. Only a flower can do that, you know? Well, and Victoria's Secret can do it with underwear, too, because they did do it, like, in 2000, like in the year 1999 and 2000, 2001. They put the baby blue with the brown, remember that? And the baby pink with the brown. They did it too. But flowers are the only ones that can do that, that can cohesively go like that. Well, Eminem was like one of those artists that allowed us to, like, you know, us poor people to get a word out and be cohesive with some, like, quality, top dollar type sounds, you know. Dre, like, everybody knows Dre, like, Beats by Dre. It's crisp, it's clear, it's fresh, it's like, ha, you know, it's like, ha. I don't know how to explain it. I don't have the words, but that's why we need artists, because they bring that to us. And that's why they're so important. And that's why they're so important to me. And that's why I want to put them on my show too, because I want to bring them to you, but I want you guys to pay for their lifestyle. Now, maybe they don't need 10 Escalades, but I do believe that Eminem deserves an Escalade. And I do believe that the public somewhere can afford to get Eminem an Escalade, a house, pay for his daughter's college, and pay for his food and basic necessities and entertainment, with a little lavishness, with, you know, get some kickbacks for, because he's an artist and he gives us that expression. So I don't know how to do that. I can't do that. All I can do is be like, tell you how good he is and explain it, and then hope that that's good enough and he doesn't sue me for copywriting, because I'm not trying to copyright. I'm trying to make the world a better place. Don't you understand? I can't do all that reading. All that reading makes my stomach hurt. How can I be a beautiful flower if I'm reading something that's making my stomach hurt because it's too small? The writing's too small and too much. Just put it in audio. I'm an audio slave. You know, we all should be audio slaves. We don't need to read anymore. Look at these things read for us. I don't understand why they give us stuff to read. When we have YouTube, it should just be audio. And then you can put some, like, images with it and it'll be better. Like pretty flowers or something. I don't know. Did I just spit? I gotta go. I gotta go. Have a good day. I gotta go. Hope you enjoyed the video.